Mind renewed, my soul's alive, body strong, my faith won't hide. Every step I'm aligned inside. Grace in motion, I was made to thrive. I'm living, I'm growing, I'm glowing inside. With power and purpose, I rise and I shine. My body, spirit, all in line. Yeah, I was made to
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome in. I am Rebecca Lynn Pope, and welcome to Thrive Ministries Sunday service. So excited that you're here. Let me make sure that we've got the live going over on this other side. There you guys are. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Thrive Ministries Sunday service. I'm so excited that you're here. Welcome in, Tico. Welcome, blessings in abundance. Did you guys see our brand new intro and theme song for Thrive? I hope you love that. I'm so excited about everything that we have going on here at Thrive. We're going to give just a couple minutes for those who are going to join us live to come in. Our message this morning is, excuse me, guys, got a catch in my throat. Good morning. We are in the middle of our November series. Excuse me, and not in the middle, almost done. Let me take a sip. A little bit more coffee this morning. Love the Thrive graphic. Thank you. Thank you. We are in the middle and almost wrapping up. One more session to go next Sunday, next Sunday. It's Going to Take Courage is our next installment of our All Things New November. This morning, it's going to take courage. Good morning, everyone, as you're coming in. Eugene, welcome. Diane, welcome. Tico, good morning. Chrissy, welcome in. I'm so excited about what God is doing at Thrive. I'm so excited about what God is doing in our lives and in yours. Thank you for so much of your feedback. Welcome in, Shay. So excited. You guys' emails, your responses to emails, your comments on videos. So grateful for all of your support and feedback with everything that we have going on. All right. So we are in our series, All Things New, November. All Things New. Last week, we covered looking for the lessons. Because as God is making all things new in our lives, there's a process. And so this morning, we're going to talk about what is this next step? As God is making all things new, what is the next step? God, we thank you. We thank you for Sunday service. We thank you for Thrive. God, we're so excited about this new beginning. We're so excited about this new era of thriving that we're entering into. God, we thank you. We thank you for all things past, all things present, and all things to come. Thank you for being with us in all places and in all things, that you're working all things for our good. Thank you, God, as you're making everything new in this season of our lives, and give us the courage to move forward. How many of you know, amen, how many of you know it's going to take courage? It's going to take courage. Like I said last week, as God is making all things new, that sounds so exciting. That sounds so fun. It sounds like, yes, who doesn't want God to make things better, greater, newer in your lives, right? In the comments, if you can say this morning, yes, Rebecca, I'm ready for the new. I'm manifesting the new. I'm aligning with the new, right? Aligning with greater for my life, greater fulfillment, greater joy, greater for peace. Raise your hand this morning. If you've got to confirm it, affirm it in the comments. If you're saying this morning, Rebecca, If God is handing out elevation, he's handing out abundant life. God is pouring out love, joy, peace, abundance, and prosperity. I'm in that line and I'm ready. Is that you this morning? You're saying, I'm ready. I'm willing to do what it takes, Rebecca. I'm willing to show up. I'm in line. Right? God is not holding any good thing from me, which means all I've got to do is come into agreement, come into alignment, agreement with God's perfect will for my life, which is perfect happiness and joy, peace, prosperity, health, wealth. God has got it all. So I'm in line. It's my turn. It's my turn. In the comment, if you can say, it's my turn. I've paid my dues. I'm ready. It's my turn. It's my turn. God, I've seen what you've done for others. I've seen what you've done for others. God, it's my turn. It's my turn, right? It's my turn. Don't forget about me. It's my turn. That's right, Tico. It's my turn. It's my time. And so as we're bringing in this energy, I have to remind you this morning, it's going to take courage. It's going to take courage. Why? Because this isn't easy. Joshua 1:9 says, be strong and of good courage, for the Lord thy God is with thee, whithersoever thou goest. Where are you going? Higher heights, deeper depths, greater wisdom, deeper happiness, expansive prosperity, new territory. Where are you going? When we say God is making all things new, what does it really mean? What are we saying when we say God is making all things new? He's creating in you. You're the new creature. All things being made new is you being made new. Your habits, your mindset, your choices, your circle, how you show up, your energy, your thoughts, your ways. This is what's being made new. And so when we say it's going to take courage, why? Why? Guys, stop for just a second. And I want you to think about some people, even if it's one person that comes to mind. I want you to think of someone you know who's miserable. Miserable. It could be a family member. It could be a friend, just somebody you love. I don't want there to be an energy of any hate this morning. I want you to think about somebody you know and gently ponder on how unhappy they are. How unhappy. Somebody miserable. Somebody who is discouraged. Somebody who just, man, no matter what is going on, happiness is fleeting. In the comments, when you say, Rebecca, I know someone like this. I know someone like this. The first person who came to mind for you. This is just an exercise real quick. Not happy, not fulfilled, just overall discouraged, distraught, moments or pockets of peace maybe, but consistently struggling. You got somebody in mind? Does somebody come to mind for you that you know personally? Chrissy says, I know someone like this, never happy. Now, this is just an exercise because it's easier when we think about other people. Joy says, my aunt who tries to bleed on me. Okay, you got someone in mind. Now, I want you to stop and I want you to think about why they are so miserable. What are the choices that they made a long time ago? What agreements did they make and sign up for that were born out of pain or misery or trauma? You know them because you love this person. They wouldn't be in your life if you didn't love them. because you're not just going to be around miserable people or try to just give access to yourself to just random miserable people. The person you brought in mind was somebody you're around consistently out of obligation or love, or you go to work and there's that consistently miserable coworker. Stop and think for one moment about the details of this person's life. The details that you've gleaned, that you've listened, that you know about this person. They married the wrong person. They decided a long time ago to not pursue their dreams. They've got a scarcity mindset. They see the bad in everything. They look for the bad in everything. They're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. They don't pursue greater. They're not looking to change. There's not pursuit of transformation or personal development. They settled for some things a long time ago, right? Joy said her husband cheated and she stayed with him. She didn't pursue the education. He didn't get out of the toxic relationship. He didn't go after the career he truly desired or the pursuit of that next excellent thing, that bigger thing. Didn't push the boundaries around mediocre or average. Didn't overcome generational curses and trauma and patterns that they were born into. Didn't stretch themselves out of their comfort zones. Didn't challenge mediocre thinking, low-minded thinking, didn't challenge obesity, didn't challenge poor eating habits, didn't challenge whatever they were born into, accepted less as their part in life. Right? Every day and in so many ways, choosing that same result again and again. People are right where they choose to be. People are right where they choose to be. How does this play into where we're at? Right? We're at Thrive. We are a very small part or percentage of the population of people who want change, who are willing to change. I've got to break this down of what you're signing up for when you're a part of Thrive. In order to thrive, you've got to make new choices. Shay said choices. You've got to challenge. And you've got to step up to the challenge as God brings you your lessons, like we covered last week, as He brings to you the things that have to change. Now it's going to take courage. Change is not born out of comfort zones. The amount of resistance, mental resistance that we have to change is astronomical. You would not believe the amount of mental resistance that we have as human beings to change. It's a part of our human psychology. Your brain thinks it's trying to keep you safe by staying in the same patterns and the same choices. And if you're comfortable, you'll wake up, repeat the same exact day you had yesterday, rinse and repeat, as long as you really feel like it's working for you or you're comfortable even in the unhappiness. You're just comfortable. So in order for God to make all things new, He has to make us very, very uncomfortable. And this is why it takes courage. Because as God is bringing to you everything about you that has to change, it's now up to you to decide, are you going to press in? Are you going to fight and overcome your old nature and your old ways? Or are you going to fold? Are you going to fold? Are you going to try to run back what used to work for you? Are you going to try to fold and go back into the nasty, toxic relationship? Are you going to try to go back to your old ways? Are you going to try to sleep it away, sex it away? Are you going to try to drink it away, cocaine it away? Are you going to try to gossip it away? You're going to try to exercise it away? Or are you going to literally confront it mentally, emotionally, process what needs to change inside of you? and overcome it to make peace. Acceptance. There is a grieving process to change. There's a grieving process as God brings the new awareness, as he brings the changed behavior, and he begins to plant the seeds of this is what you need to do. This is the direction you need to go in. This is what's got to change for you. We're getting ready to come into a new year. What's got to change? God has began to bring me some changes that he's making in my life. And it's still up to me to come into agreement with what he's showing me. I'm coming off social media except for YouTube. I just shared this with Carrie. God dropped this thing in my spirit. The Unplugged Challenge began to even lead me into a deeper detox and release. And then God began to show me, he's been guiding me to this point where I come off of social media. I will only show up live in person and stay plugged in to YouTube. What does that mean? Letting go of Instagram, letting go of TikTok, letting go of Threads, letting go of Facebook. I am going to streamline all of my energy into one platform and allow my team to manage other content over there to just show the highlights of what I'm doing. But I'm going to channel my focus. Why? Because God has to get me undistracted. It's a next level that I've got to be in tune with God in this next season. 2026 is a next level of power, a next level of focus, a next level of intention that is going to require all of me to be able to hear God, stay in sync with God, not be distracted by the noise and the chaos of the world, not trying to keep up with algorithms, not trying to keep up with what others are doing in the industries that you're in, not trying to impress or be validated. Coming off completely, letting go, not even logging in. Focus. And for those of you who have followed me for years, you know I've been on these platforms for years, built followings for years. There was a grieving one day. See, for some of you, you don't understand that you can schedule grief. You're going to go through a grieving process for change. It felt like, but God, wait, what? I'm going to come off. Wait, what? What are we doing? Really? Wait a minute. And you're going to have to sit with that thing for a second. You mean, yes, you got to cut off the situationship? You mean, yes, it's finally time to apply for some new jobs, but Rebecca, it's a horrible job market. You want me to leave the safety of this miserable job that you're on, that you find yourself complaining about, whining and complaining and feeling like a victim and not empowered, but you won't make a change because until you're so uncomfortable. Yes, it's time to let it go. Access from all the toxic, negative friends and family. What is God calling you to? What is he requiring you to change? What is going to take courage for you? Courage. See, just because you're suffering, God doesn't respond to suffering. I'm going to say that one more time. God doesn't respond to suffering. What do you mean God doesn't respond to my suffering, Rebecca? Doesn't God care that I'm suffering? Doesn't God care that I'm hurting? Yes, but actually God has created the circumstances that is causing you to suffer because he's waiting on you to move. He's letting you become so uncomfortable that you then have to shift. You've got to change. You've got to make a new choice. We don't make changes inside of comfort zones. This is why it's going to take courage, because these are major shifts. As God is making all things new, there are major changes. This is no longer the small types of changes that you're used to. It's now big changes, big leaps of courage that you have to trust by faith. That you're letting go of what used to comfort you, letting go of what you used to rely on, letting go of what was normal for you. And if God didn't allow these specific circumstances, you wouldn't change. So these next moves are divine moves. strategic moves where God is shifting you for greater, opening you up for greater. Yes, you've got to move. You've got to change. I sit and I look at Carrie and I's lives and I see the hand of God in everything. Let me ask you a question. If there was the type of money in the bank that you wanted there to be right now, would you be doing what God is calling you to do if he hadn't allowed you to become uncomfortable financially? If you were comfortable in the old relationship and God didn't come in to let it end, would he be preparing you for the next beautiful, healthy, loving relationship that he has for you? You had to become uncomfortable. For something new to begin, something else has to end. Every new beginning starts with an end. Something's got to shift. Something's got to change. And it's going to take courage. You're going to have to step out of your comfort zone. I'm sitting here on Carrie's streaming software right now. Streaming software. I'm not techie. And I told myself I'm going to stop saying I'm not techie because obviously I learn it, I do it, but it just takes courage for me to learn a new system, learn a new way, step out of what I'm used to and stretch into the unknown, stretching myself to learn something new, do something new. The next iteration of your business, the next level of your friendships, the next level of your money, the next level of your body is requiring you to stretch out of what's comfortable, out of what you've always known, out of what you've always done, and do something new. As God is making all things new in your life, it's requiring change. Is this easy? No, it's not, which is why it takes courage. Joy says, I have to learn more AI for business. Amen. Industries change, technology changes, right? There's always shifts. But if we wake up and keep doing what we've always done, nothing is going to change. You would have thought God getting me to come off these sites was like a death. That's how I grieved it. For like one day, I grieved I couldn't even understand what I was feeling. I couldn't understand. But change causes mental conflict. While you're going through the process of accepting what has to change, it comes with confusion and conflict. It's the natural process of learning something new. It's the natural process of growth. There's a period of time of conflict, confusion, and feeling lost before you get to acceptance, clarity, and peace. So as God is making all things new in your life, as God is rearranging, making all things new, what is going to require courage? What area of your life where God is shifting you and changing you is going to require courage? It's not just God snapping his finger and miraculously, magically fixing your life. This question for you this morning is, what is going to take courage? Because there's no evidence right now that this is going to work. You're just getting started. So you're going to have to walk this out by faith. In the comments, what area is going to take courage? As God is making all things new in your life, do you have the boldness to put in the comments this morning what has to change? What's got to change inside of you? What's got to change in your choices? What is comfortable for you? What have you gotten so used to over all these years, but you know these habits, this thinking, this mindset, this can't go with you into your new season? What has to change? I'll give you a good example. If it was December 31st right now, and it's New Year's Eve, and you're making some New Year's resolutions. We're about to go into a new year. This is the things that people focus on when they go into a new year, and they fall off really quickly. And you say, I'm going to make up my mind. I'm going to go get me some new friends. I'm going to stretch myself. I'm going to start exercising. I'm going to start eating healthy. I'm going to leave this toxic relationship alone. I am literally letting go of this person. I'm letting go of this trauma coming into the new year. We're a month early, but right now I want you to think about what's got to go. What is it time to let go of? I'm getting a new job in the new year. I'm going to start the business in the new year. We're just a month early. Tico says getting rid of some people has to change to do better with new habits. Tico, listen, that's powerful. Do you guys realize, like, drug addicts, when they go through recovery and rehab, do you know one of the number one rules for drug addicts is as you come through recovery, you can't go hang around drug addicts anymore. You can't be around people using drugs or you're going to relapse. Do you know that's one of the rules? That's one of the rules. If you're around people who are doing the very thing that you don't want to do, you are going to find yourself falling back into those same old ways and patterns again and again. Again and again. Because good company builds your soul, but bad company corrupts. Corrupts. Who's going to be honest this morning? Magnolia, what has to change for me? Not studying, procrastination, not being consistent with exercise and saving money. Chrissy says accepting this solitude, isolation season, shedding toxic people that drain me. Listen, there's several things God been working on me to get ready for where we're headed. And one of those things is solitude. Just like you, Chrissy, solitude. Solitude. Not having so many connections, not having so many people that are connected. I'm talking and texting and conversating, more solitude, more isolation. What God baby stepped me into it, one step at a time. And then this week showed me this is the new normal for me. Chrissy, I'm not saying it's the normal for you. I'm saying it's the normal for me, for my calling. Life class in December, we're going to talk about higher calling. What is required of you for your calling? Each of us have a unique purpose and unique calling. And lifestyle and habits have to be able to match, to curate and cultivate and nurture who God created you to be. Created you to be. Amy says consistency in holding my boundaries, thriving in my isolation period and focusing on my health. What is God guiding you to do? What is it going to take courage that you didn't even realize that you had some bad habits or some bad ways in this area, that you used this as coping? That you were operating out of fear in these areas. Because until God brings revelation, we don't even realize that we're hindered. We don't even realize we have resistance to certain areas of growth until God reveals how it's holding you back, reveals that it has to change. Back again to last week, looking for the lessons, looking for the lessons. Now it's going to take courage to implement it, courage to follow, courage to move forward. When you're moving forward into something that you've never seen, you don't know. You're pressing for the higher calling, the mark. You're pressing forward towards the higher calling that God has on your life, on your business, on your money, on your relationships. It's time for the 2.0 version of you, the 2.0, the next level. And you never know what you can do until you push. You never know what you can do until you try. You never know what you can do until you make an effort. But God's making all things new. All things new. You never know what you can do until you give it everything you've got. I did a video this week on my channel called Remember Who You Are. And inside that video, God showed me how it's not about creating a life that totally doesn't resemble your old life at all. It's a new and improved you. You'll still be you. It's just the new and improved you. It's the healed habits you, the healed mind you, the healed boundaries you, the healed money you, the healed fulfillment purpose, the healed professional you, the healed confidence, the healed mindset, the healed trust issues, the healed self-esteem. Where God is leading you is into a new and improved you. It's still you. It's just in more alignment with who God created you to be. Which is where the challenge comes in of removing everything that's getting in the way. All the distractions and the habits that are holding you back from walking into the new and improved you. Carrie says it takes courage to trust God with your life, especially if you're a control freak. Listen, I know I've been a control freak. I'm a reformed control freak. I'm letting go of control every way and in every way, every day. Less control. It's just an illusion. But anybody who has any amount of ambition, drive, goals, you've been a control freak. You may just not realize it. You may be a control freak in certain areas of your life, not in every area. So you maybe not have even identified yourself as a control freak. Maybe you're a control freak when it comes to your kids. Maybe you're a control freak when it comes to your family, when it comes to your friendships. You might be a control freak at your job. God had to show me that I had to let go of control in all these different areas. If I want a greater life that requires greater vision of who God says I am, I have to let go of the ideas and the goals that I created. Joy says, raising her hand, yes, control freak. I have to let go of the ideas I've had of what I want, what I deserve, what I need, and what I think works for me. I know it's the same for you. We're not in this alone. We're not in this alone. So we have all these grand ideas of how we think all of this should work. And it's only as we surrender into God's perfect will for our perfect happiness that we begin to let go and let God. Let go and let God. When I say it's going to take courage, what does that really mean? It's going to take faith. It's going to take trust. Because we are now in a season where it doesn't feel like we know exactly what God's doing. As you're letting go of your old ways, as you're letting go of everything that brought comfort to you, the emotional eating and overeating, letting go of the old friendships, the old connections, letting go of that toxic relationship, letting go of your trust issues. As you're letting go of your old ways, we have to trust by faith that God is taking us into a new season and that He's going to deliver on these promises, right? It's going to take faith, courage, faith, courage, right? Be strong and of good courage, for the Lord thy God is with thee. God is with us. He's with you every step of the way. Heaven is cheering you on. God is applauding every step you take that is walking you into trust, walking you into destiny, allowing him to make all things new in your life. God is applauding you. Heaven is applauding you. They are cheering you on. Cheering you on. Every step. Yes, it gets lonely. Yes, it feels isolating. Yes, it feels like you're alone in these pursuits, but you're not. You're never alone. God is with you. And you're going to have to stay strong, and you're going to have to stay courageous. Can I tell you real quick that this is not for the faint of heart? This message is not for the faint of heart. Yes, we want all the wonderful blessings of God, but are you beginning to understand that it's going to take some work on your part? Some backbone, some gumption, courage. It's going to take some fight in you. It is going to take you pushing through all your old ways. Is the message, the energy of this getting through to you this morning? That if you might as well stop feeling sorry for yourself. You may as well go ahead and pick yourself off of the floor. Oh, woe is me. Why is this so hard? Why is this happening to me? Right? Who can admit you've had a pity party a couple times? Who can admit that in this season you're saying, is it really this hard? Is it really got to be this difficult? Is this really the path of the warrior? Is this the path of greatness? I've said it for years in business. This is the path of greatness. People don't understand. They have no clue what entrepreneurship requires until you're doing it. And you confront everything inside of you that is coming between you and success. Every mindset and habit, you have no clue until you go do it. People who are out here doing it just make it look easy. We make it look easy till you go do it yourself. And now you encounter every messy, jacked up mindset, every limitation, every confidence issue that is holding you back from that next level of success. And all of a sudden it's like, oh my goodness, how did I get here? Do I really want this? Do you really want these results? Right? Yeah, this is the path. You may as well pick yourself up, baby. Pick yourself up, press forward, get it together. Let's be real for a second. Most people are not happy. Most people are not thriving. Most people have no clue where they're going, why they do what they do. They wake up, rinse and repeat, and just keep living their lives on rinse and repeat until the day they die. My mother died miserable. She refused to make some hard decisions in her 30s, in her 40s, in her 50s. She died full of cancer. Cancer ate her alive. She was miserable in her marriage, in a miserable relationship. She should have left my daddy alone. Should have never even married him. I can't wish away my existence. But my mother should have left my daddy decades before she died. On the week she died, she was trying to leave my daddy. Finally. And at this point, she's about to die. And realizing she wanted out. But it was too late. It was too late. She didn't make the hard choices. She didn't do what she needed to do for her soul to thrive. She didn't listen to the spiritual feedback. She didn't do what she needed to do for herself and for her daughters. She stayed in a toxic, traumatized, vicious cycle of a relationship. And it literally ate her alive. Watching how my mother died, how she lived her life, and she was a beautiful soul. A beautiful soul. She was wonderful. My mother was full of life. She loved to laugh. She was athletic. She was a great mom. She was amazing. But in her personal life, in her personal choices, nobody had ever taught her to choose herself. She lost herself in a man. And I made up my mind a long time ago. I'm going to always do what I need to do for me. Other people's opinions be damned. Forget about what other people think. Forget about what other people think you should do, say you should do. Forget about what society says is right and wrong. Forget about all of that. You have got to make up your mind that it is God's will for you to thrive. You have to make up your mind that it is God's will for you to thrive. God's will for you to thrive, mind, body, spirit. It is God's will for you to live and not die. It is God's will for you to be happy. God's will for you to live in joy and peace. See, tragedies, my mother's tragedy, my mother's life has created inspiration for me. Inspiration for change. Inspiration to not just accept whatever cards you're dealt. Inspiration for change. Inspiration to do whatever it takes. That's why I've been in therapy for years, right? Self-help, personal development. God, create in me a clean heart. Search me, oh God. I refuse to duplicate the same results. And that's just one example of a choice she made. But she made a whole lot of other choices in the other areas of her life that did not help her to thrive. Because unless we're willing to go counter, challenge the very things that are causing us to suffer, we're choosing the suffering. We're choosing the suffering. I got so many examples, but I'm just sharing one. See, thriving is not guaranteed. Most people are not thriving. If it was so easy, most people would be thriving. Who do you personally know who's thriving? Mind, body, spirit. Who do you personally know? Not someone you follow on social media. I'm talking in your immediate, true relationships and connections. Who do you know that's truly thriving? I'll wait. It's not a lot of people, is it? Do you know anybody personally that you would want to trade places with? I mean, like their whole life. Not just their money, but their whole life. Their relationships, their health. Like when I say thriving, when I think of thriving, I define thriving as thriving in every area of life. To me, thriving is thriving financially, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically. Thriving. That to me is thriving. When everything is well, all is well. That's thriving. Not that you don't have some bad days, not that you don't have disappointments, but I'm talking about in general, when you check the boxes of your life and you're saying, is all well physically? Check. Is all well in my mental health? Check. Can I sleep at night? Check. Do I have a clear heart and a clear conscience? Check. Is the bank account healthy? Check. Right? Come on. Is there anybody you know right now that you would want to trade places with? Is there anybody right now who is exemplifying the life that God is building with you right now? Is there anybody you know that you're like, oh my God, yes. Ooh, yes. Or is it more like, well, I would love his body, but I wouldn't want his marriage, or I would love her business, but I wouldn't want her attitude, or I would. So when we say that God is making all things new, you have to understand that you might be the first person in your lineage, the first person in your family history that God is creating and setting up to thrive. So if you don't know what this looks like, you haven't had any role models for this, this is all new, which is why it's so uncomfortable. Why is it so challenging? Because there's nobody around you role modeling this. There's nobody around you who's done the amount of work that it takes to truly thrive. There's not been an example of this. As a matter of fact, most of our examples and role models have folded. They haven't fought through. They haven't challenged themselves. They didn't seek the healing and the development that it took to heal these different areas of their life. Most of us have role models that literally have just traumatized us, gave us examples of folding, not examples of courage, not examples of pushing through, not examples of what it takes for audacity and boldness and courage and confidence to break out of the molds we were born into. Most of us literally have been demonstrated victimization and suffering. That is what has been demonstrated to most of us. Settling, struggling, survival, suffering. Shay said, not a one. Amy says, whew, this requires a warrior spirit. A warrior spirit. It requires brutal honesty, audacious courage, audacious, bold courage to tackle these different areas of our lives. That's the message to you this morning. This isn't happening passively. We are being challenged to let go of all the different ways that we have been doing things for decades to get us here. And even those of us who have great levels of success and accomplishments in different areas, that's nothing compared to where God is taking us. So change is required even for greater success, greater accomplishments. Change is required. So you're going to have courage through the change. Courage through the change. It means doing things you don't feel like doing. It means stepping up when you feel like falling back. It feels like pressing in when you would rather fold. It means fighting yourself, taking authority of your own mind and your own stinking thinking and your old ways, and taking on the new mind of prosperity and abundance as you begin to learn how to thrive. Thrive. That's the message for today. It's going to take courage. So this is your reminder. This is your reminder. Be strong in good courage. Be strong in good courage. Carrie and I thank you. We thank you for your support. We thank you for all your donations, your partnership. Our new ministry platform is coming. Our new membership program is coming. We're working on building out Thrive one day at a time, staying in step with God, right? Carrie says we must understand that it comes with a price. The question is, are you willing to pay that price? Shannon, I can't wait till I can attend you and Carrie's service in person. We can't wait either. We cannot wait. We need your donations and your partnership as we're preparing to launch the new membership, and we'll roll out what that looks like and what the structure of that will be. We need all of your support as we're moving forward. So this is our time to donate. Shay put up the link right there, the PayPal link. If you want to Zelle, you can also Zelle. The Zelle email for now is contact@RebeccaLynnPope.com. That's contact@RebeccaLynnPope.com. If you want to Zelle your donation, There's also the PayPal link there to partner with us. God, we thank you. We thank you for your message. We thank you, God, for being magnified through this message. We thank you for the changes that you're bringing in us and through us. God, we thank you for our thriving era. God, give us the courage to move forward. Give us the courage to counter, to challenge, to encounter those things that are in the way, the distractions, the resistance, the mental resistance to all this change. God, be with us. God, be with us. Help us, God. Not just comfort, but clarity. Clarity on what you're doing. Clarity on the necessity of these changes in order for our prayers and our lives to manifest in our thriving season. God, we thank you. We thank you for this service. We thank you for Thrive. We thank you for all of you guys. Blessings in abundance. We will see you next week. We are on vacation. This coming week, we'll be out of town, and we're so grateful. We'll make sure we post a Thanksgiving message for you guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Safe travels for all of you traveling this week. Traveling mercies on your way to family or wherever you may be going. So we will not have life class this Wednesday. We will pick back up with Sunday service next Sunday. All right, let's thrive. That's right. Thank you, Tico. All right, loves. Mwah. Blessings in abundance. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.